では始めてよろしいですか。
はい、どうぞお願いします。
クズザンポーラ。じゃあ、共有します。Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yoshisuke Kuramoto. I'm joining from Tokyo now. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak at this second online meetup 2022. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to College of Science and Technology, Bhutan, and Mr. Koji Yamada of Japan International Cooperation Agency. 山田さんどうもありがとうございます。I was born in 1946 in Japan, right after the Second World War. In 2015, I started to design and produce my Fab Scooter that changed my life completely. Now, I will explain why and how. In 2000, I got a serious traffic accident in Canada and lost my walking and some other abilities. In 2009, I came across a mobility scooter in Hawaii by chance. It was so good that I decided to buy one after I got back to Japan. However, mobility scooters were too expensive that time in Japan and not offering the features I needed. But I got one using online auction made in Taiwan. That was what I wanted. But it was so heavy that I had to make a crane in order to self-load and unload with my Volvo wagon. In December 2013, I encountered with a book titled Fab-Lab, written by Hiro Tanaka, the father of FabLab in Japan. My longtime friend Izumi Aizu introduced that book to me. After I read it, I decided to dedicate the rest of my life to Fab. When I saw this photo of Fab City car at Fab 10 in Barcelona, though I couldn't go to Barcelona, thus I didn't see it directly, I became confident that I could make a scooter myself by using plywood. No need for molding. After mastering the 3D software, I was able to finalize the scooter design. Those components were all sourced from Taiwan. Through Izumi's introduction, Mr. Ted Han of FabLab Taipei helped me to identify Mr. Nick Su, who kindly shipped them all together to me. To save cost, I bought a second-hand scooter from online auction to obtain additional components such as seat and handle and etc. I used plywood for construction material to make the body frame. To cut out the frames, I was able to use shopbot machine. thanks to Professor Tanaka at Super FabLab of Keio University. It took only 4 minutes to complete the whole cutting. Yes, very noisy. I cut steel material manually myself to produce rear axle mount and front forks. Welding was done at FabLab Hamamatsu. Thanks to Mr. Takemura, my fab friend, who did the welding work there. All the parts were assembled at my small office. I used hacksaw and file the most, leaving my arms aching a lot. In May 2015, just before I completed the first version, I went to Taipei to attend the second FabLab Asia Network Conference, Fund 2. I made a presentation of making my scooter and ended up meeting with the Prime Minister of Taiwan, Mr. Mao. A big surprise. Taiwan holds the majority share of e-scooter market in the world. Right after coming back from Taipei, I finalized the last steps and my Fab Scooter version 1 debuted on 5th 2015 at FabLab Kannai in Yokohama. However, there are always bugs even after launch. After 2 days of test driving, I found 2 problems. First, mounting handle was weak, so I replaced plywood with steel pipes. Second, I found the motor touching the body. I had to make the entire body again. Certain parts were not off the shelf at all. Pipe joint, control box, throttle lever unit, and so on. No problem. I used a 3D printer to make them from zero. This is the first version of Fab Scooter, completed in October 2015. I took about 1 year from drawing to finish. Now I can load my scooter into my car all by myself. After unloading it, I have the freedom to move within a 5-kilometer radius, so long as the battery lasts. With my car and Fab Scooter, I can move to wherever I want. I am using my Fab Scooter almost every day. I strongly believe that mobility is a fundamental human right. In the first year alone, I traveled some 20,000 kilometers throughout Japan. Invited by Aizu-san, I visited the devastated areas hit by the 2011 Great East Japan earthquake and tsunami disasters and met the family members of the victims. It was 5 years after the disaster. In August 2016, I tried to take the international flight with my Fab Scooter to participate in the 12th International FabLab Conference, Fab-Lab in Shenzhen, China. Do you know that electric wheelchair must be accepted free of charge by all international airlines? In Shenzhen, I made my first English presentation in my life. After that, so many people came to congratulate and respect me. Unbelievable. I made it. Among them, Professor Neil Gershenfeld, the founding father of FabLab. It seems many people like my story. I was selected as the finalist of UFAB Global Creative Award in Tokyo in March 2017. 3 years after the Fab 12, I was invited to Maker Fair Dubai as one of the keynote speakers. It turned out that one lady who participated in my workshop in Shenzhen became the lead organizer of the Maker Fair Dubai. Keynote presentation in Dubai is such a dream experience. Unforgettable. Thank you so much, Ms. Marwa Sarawi. But here comes the reality. The story doesn't end with the completion. After the launch up to today, I have faced various troubles. I must take care of the maintenance work myself. Nobody else can do it. For example, one day, electromagnetic cable was cut. Emergency repair in my hotel room. The motor got weaker. After changing the motor controller and adding heatsink, I found battery cable connector contact was the real cause of the problem. One day, the power didn't turn on at all. The variable register went down. Of course, flat tires. Many more troubles have happened since my scooter is my leg. Any trouble should be fixed very quickly by myself. Otherwise, I got stuck. I have a feeling that electrical problem will occur again sometime soon. Trouble on the way out is the scariest thing. Be prepared always. Yes, the trouble did occur. Just 5 days after I finalized this draft, my Fab Scooter suddenly stopped working. The status lamp blinked 5 times, which meant park brake fault. As I looked at the manual, I found the park brake cable was cut and I replaced the connector to fix it. Again, be prepared always. Since I made this machine all by myself, I can take on any challenges I want. For example, I tried to print the tires using 3D printers. Well, the tire didn't work that well so far. Self-driving is the name of the game today. So I started to make automatic braking system using ultrasonic sensors. The speed is reduced to 1/3 if it detects some object at 1 meter ahead. It will stop at 50 centimeters in distance. Very interesting. Waterproof and protective coating for plywood usually lasts for 5 years. It can be extended for another 5 years if I repaint them, but that means I lose my foot during the painting period. I decided to build the new body to make the idling time to a minimum. All parts made by 3D printer, lighting, and wiring will be also renewed. The 3D printer I used 6 years ago has small modeling volume capacity of only 15 cubic centimeters, and the filament is only PLA or ABS. This time, I had a 3D printer with a larger modeling volume. I modified it so that all kinds of filaments can be used. They are polycarbonate PC, carbon fiber PC, some plastic polyurethane TPU, some plastic elastomer TPE, and nylon, etc. Different materials were selected to fit different functions of the parts. Thus, the weather resistance and durability have been greatly improved. The number of parts made by 3D printer has increased significantly. Their throttle grip, gear mount motor controller tray, instrument panel unit, dust cover, battery holder, etc. A friend of mine who is a graphic designer made the Fab Scooter logo and stick it on the body with a wrapping film. It's really cool. The Fab Scooter version 2, I have been riding for 5 years. Now, reborn like a new car. Now it's version 3. Fab Scooter taught me the fun of making. Fab Scooter revived the joy of traveling. Fab Scooter has given me so many experiences I had never thought of before. Thanks to Fab Scooter, I have made many friends all over the world. In the coming 5 years or so, before I reach 80 years old, I would like to challenge version 4. Finally, in Japan, it is very difficult to diffuse such handmade vehicles due to huge legal barriers. Since 2017, I have personally supported attempts to build a Fab Scooter at the University of East Timor. Right now, is suspended due to COVID-19. I'd love to see Fab Scooter running in Bhutan as well. I can provide any data about Fab Scooter production and lend any support you guys want. Finally, I would like to thank all the people who helped making my Fab Scooter and its subsequent activities. Special thanks to those people. I owe them a lot. People who helped me making Fab Scooter include Professor Hiroya Tanaka, the founder of FabLab in Japan, Mr. Ted Han, one of the leaders of FabLab in Asia, Professor Neil Gershenfeld, the founder and the evangelist of FabLab globally, Mr. Izumi Aizu, my professional friend for more than 40 years, Ms. Marwa Saraway, the lead organizer of Maker Fair Dubai. Last but not least, Mr. Koji Yamada of the JICA project, who invited me to this great occasion. I also like to thank to the following people. Of course, there are many more people. I'd like to once again thank all the people who helped me. Many of them couldn't be listed here. And thank you all for listening. Thank you and Tashidere Garinchura.